You'll never have to buy a softbox ever again. Finding a light that's powerful enough but also practical is hard. Until now. Now, I don't really get excited about lights anymore, but when something comes out that helps my workflow and saves space, it's worth talking about. And this one has some exciting features, like this. Godox just released a range of bi-colour LED light mats in 200 watt, 400 watt and 600 watt versions. And they've kindly sent me the FS 200 watt version to show you. This format of light is amazing, and here's the first reason why I like LED light mats. When you want soft lighting, you need a big light source. The larger the better, and the closer it is, the softer it gets. And this is why people use a softbox or shine the light through a diffusion panel. But the problem is, softboxes are huge and they take up loads of room, and panels are annoying to set up, especially if you work alone. With a light mat, it's just one big panel of light in a super thin mat. Look at that. Look how thin that is. That's it there. So you can get super soft light without taking up a load of space or setting up a load of extra stands to set up diffusion. This is what the light mat looks like with no diffusion. As you can see, it's as soft as my Godox ULC60 light with a softbox attached. So you don't even need to put the softbox on this to make it softer. And when you do add the softbox and diffusion material, it doesn't make it much softer because it's already soft. How many times can I say soft? It just takes a little bit of shine off and the exposure drops slightly. But that's not a problem because this is 200 watts, which means it's super bright. Even at 5%, this image was overexposed, so I had to drop it down to 1% and adjust my exposure in camera. Now this is good because sometimes you have to bring the light in closer to the subject, but then you can see the light fixture in the shot, and we don't want that, obviously. But with a brighter light, something like this, that keeps its brightness even further away, you can pull the light back out of the frame and still get soft light. Look how much space you save compared to a typical light with a softbox attached. The difference is huge, and I love this because I work in small spaces. As you can see, there's no room in here whatsoever. So I need to save all the space that I can, especially when you've got multiple tripods and multiple light stands and microphones and all sorts in the room and desks. But it's especially handy if you're mounting lights overhead and you don't have much ceiling height. So it allows you to get that moody look without compromising on the types of lights that you use, because a lot of people have been using tube lights, which are great, but they don't give you that softness or size that these have. Now this is my favorite thing. You can even Velcro it to the wall or ceiling to save even more space. Now I haven't done it on here yet because I've used that wall for thumbnails and I don't want to have strips of Velcro on it. But if I'm ever in the position where I need to do that, I can. And this is great because that means you don't even have to set up a light stand to put your light on. Because they're so lightweight, they're easier to move around. Okay, it's stuck on something. And for even more flexibility about where you can use these lights, you can power the unit with V-mount batteries. And if you're using them outside and there's a spot of rain, they're even waterproof. So there really isn't anywhere that you can't use these lights, and I love it. Because normally with any type of light, you're restricted. You have to choose which light to use where. I've got a small light that's battery powered over there, but it's not powerful or big enough and soft enough. I've got this light here, but I can't power it outside, so that's no good. And I've got this now. I can use it inside, I can use it outside, I can use it in the rain. It's smaller, it saves space, I can power it wherever I am. Spot on. Now, if you know me and you've seen this channel before, let me just move this, you'll know that I love a dedicated case. And this one is awesome. Love Godox's attention to detail. They've come a long way since I've been using them. Even the case is quality. Look at that. Got all I'll just move these out of the way in a bit. It's plastic. Got your carry cases, you got your cables, you got a divider in there. It's solid. Even though it's like a soft case, it's solid around the edges, so that's going to keep your stuff safe. There's nothing worse than turning up to a professional shoot with all your gear in plastic bags or the cardboard box that it came in. It's not very professional, is it? When things come with a case like this, I really appreciate it. Put this back over here. Hard to handle now. There we are. And because it's a bicolor light that goes from 2700 to 8500 Kelvin, I can either match the temperature of this lamp to motivate the light and wrap it round to light me more, or I can set it to a cooler temperature to emulate moonlight coming through the window. Now, if you've got multiple workspaces or if you're set up in a variety of situations, it can be frustrating to dial in your different light values or start from scratch every time you set up. But this allows you to save up to 10 presets where you can store the brightness, the Kelvin, and any effects that you might use. So you can quickly switch between your favorite modes without having to memorize your settings. The menu system on the control box is really easy to use and intuitive, but if you want more control away from the unit, you can set up Bluetooth and control multiple lights via the app or with DMX control. Now, what's in the bag? What do you get? Well, you get the light itself, the control box, the X bracket, power cable, stand adapter to attach it to your light stand, the softbox, the carry case, and a grid to stop the lights spilling over onto the sides. Now, at first I was shocked at how large this power unit is, but when you think about it, this is a 200 watt light and those lights are huge. So the fact that this is away from the actual light itself is a good idea, and it really doesn't matter how big this is because it's not taking up any more space. Now, having an awesome light is one thing, but if you still don't know how to set up your camera for the best looking results and exposure, you're not going to get a good image and it's going to be really difficult to color grade. That's why you should watch this video next, because I'll show you exactly how to set up the camera for perfect exposure in any lighting situation.